Morning everyone, how are you doing? I'm just getting on with the roof at the moment, just show you what I've been doing for the last few weeks, just tread round. So that's it so far, looking outside. I'm just far side at the moment, just outside the toilet area. That will be the toilet. I've started putting just a damp proof layer on top of the roof. There we go, that's the roof so far. I've got loads of bits to do and sort of random gaps to fill, but that's what I've been doing this morning, and just getting this piece ready up here. It's quite a windy corner, this bit, so I just want to make sure it's all going to be fully waterproofed, and I just cut in a strip of wood above the timber there, just sealed it up, and that'll be covered up anyway, so I'm not really too worried about the look on that. So that's looking good. It's looking round. Had some interesting things to do. Got a little bit of a repair to do up here because I've got a bit of a split wood, but I'm going to run a trim along the tops of those timbers, so it just covers it up. But that's looking good. Really pleased with it. I've got a little gap there which I need to fill next week. I actually need to cut a chimney hole through that piece there. It will go there. Sorry for the wind. Yeah, so I'll give you a quick scan round. This is going back into the entrance now. So I'm right at the back of the front door. That's the entrance, looking up. And that's the roundhouse roof so far. So it's looking pretty good. Considering only about half of it is wrapped, it's surprisingly watertight. Got a little bit of gap up there, but that's just because it's not been sealed off yet. And that's the toilet area at the back, which will be the bathroom, toilet, whatever you want to call it. So that's coming on well. Just need to put an extension on here. I need to cut these logs off the ends. Started doing them around there. It's looking pretty good. I'm really pleased with it. It's gone on. I wouldn't say it's been easy. It's been quite tricky, to be honest, but it's gone on, and got a few issues here and there to sort out, but actually I'm pretty pleased with it. It looks really nice. So that's the roof. So I reckon probably another, excuse the wind, it's really windy today. I reckon another week and I should have the majority of the roof sorted out, and I need to then start bracing it underneath with some more supports here and there. I've got a real sort of interesting curvature that goes on here. That's the underside. Now I've ground off some of the screws that are poking through, so those little grey dots are the screws that have been burnt off. That's actually quite a complex curve. It's three pieces of wood bent into about three different angles there. You can't really see it. Do it at that angle, you can. So that's by far the trickiest part of the roof so far. As I say, today I've just been doing the side of the sort of toilet area. I'm going to have a window in there where that tarp's blowing now. I'm going to put a window in there, and because this gets a lot of the wind, this area, so I'm really making sure that there's plenty of roof material, plenty of overlaps, just to stop that wind from getting in. But it's absolutely howling today. That's all covered up, that's all covered up with DPC, damp-proof course, so that should be okay for the time being. I've got a few damp spots here and there. That's just because it's not been covered in its first coat of plastic, but I'm not too worried about that. This quarter, totally bone dry. Really happy with this. So that's pretty good. Really pleased with that. No leaks or anything. And over there, got a few bits blowing through, and I think that's just because the rest of the roof's not covered. So yeah, it's cracking on. That's the roof. got a few little gaps to fill here and there, just in the middle of that frame there. I've got need to put a little trim of timber across there where I've got overlaps of roof material, and just tidying that up as I'm going along. But yeah, it's the best thing to do really today when it's windy and rainy. And this is one of the interior walls for the toilet. Just started infilling up there. Oops, hit the ladder. There we go, that's part of the roof so far. I've just brought the plastic layer down for the time being, just to give it a bit of water protection. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that corner yet. I think I actually might make a tile arrangement of leftover plywood. So I'm going to make some little tiles, and I'm going to tile that over. Put a damp-proof layer underneath, so the light will just run off. So yeah, where that gap is there, I'm going to put a window. I'm working on that in the next few days. It's certainly easier to do when you don't have a roof over your head. Touching yourself every 5 minutes. But yeah, looking really cool. Got a little piece here to do. I'm not worried about that. And that's looking in. So I apologise for not giving him any major updates as I've been going along on this. It's primarily because I've just been headfirst into work, getting it cracking. But that's the interior so far. Looking at it, so it's coming from that central roof there, going down. Just give you an idea of what I've done so far on the inside here. I've just rendered up the top there. That's been panelled up with leftover pieces. Did that last week, and again, all up there, it's all been done. It's all drying off nicely. I've done all up there, and the top's there, so that all sort of blends into one now. So I'm quite pleased with that as well. So that's dried nicely. This wall is pretty good. Quite pleased with this. Got a few issues on the outside. I've got a couple of major cracks coming in on the render there. Not really sure why that is. I think it's just probably a bit of shrinkage. But what I'll do is, when I mix a batch up next time, that's the outside, back of the entrance. So as you can see, I've got some big old cracks coming down here, and I think that's just because it's dried out a bit quick. So what I'm going to do is I'll soak that and then just put some more infill of render on their line. But yeah, that window's come on well, really pleased with that one. Get quite a lot of splashback from the mud down here, but I think I'm going to probably have to dig a trough just to allow the water to run off. But the aim is really to get some bricks. I'm sure there's plenty of old brick material lying around the farm, so I'm going to try and put a load of bricks underneath those timbers and then just pour some concrete in, just to stop the water from getting in. But the front, give you an idea of what's happening on the front. Well, that's not really changed, to be honest. I don't have any leaks, don't have any rain coming in, so that's really good. Just go round to this side. So that's the other side. I just need to lime render this up and just give you an idea. I've sort of boxed that all up there. So that's the top of the timber. It's a slightly different arrangement from the other side. That's just because it was quite complex to do. This has got a cement coat on it, which is rock solid, and that's really in readiness for the lime to go on. I wanted this to be a cement base coat really for the rain, because potentially the water will run down in this corner. But what I'm going to do is I've got some flat sheets of lead, so I'm just going to make a little gutter arrangement just to come off that, just to spray the water off so it doesn't hit this corner. But yeah, coming on. This wall needs to progress. Not much else to say on that one. Still not 100% sure what I'll do, but I might end up just keeping it because I think it looks interesting. even though it will be time consuming. So that's it, just going through the entrance, looking in again. There you go. I can feel the end is in sight to a certain degree, and that's just coming around. Yeah, so it's looking really cool. So I've got one sheet, or not even a sheet there, I've got 3/4 of a sheet of ply there. That'll go in, hopefully, that spot over there where that big gap is on the right, and got to cut out a chimney hole for that, so I need to plot that on the roof first, and then make sure that's all correct, and then cut a hole in for the chimney. So that'll probably be about 10 inches square. I'll probably cut a square hole because I don't have a jigsaw. I don't fancy trying that with a chainsaw, so I'll just use a circular on that. But that's it, looking cool. And at least it's not cold today, it's just wet and windy. I'll leave you to it, I'll come back to you shortly. See you then.